To those who argue that civil partnerships exist and contain very similar rights, that marriage is just a word, and that this bill is unnecessary, I say that that's not right. A legal partnership is not perceived in the same way and does not have the same promises of responsibility and commitment as marriage. All couples who enter a lifelong commitment together should be able to call it marriage.
Mr. Speaker, at the heart of this bill is a straightforward proposition. If a couple love each other, then the state should not stop them getting married unless there is a good reason. And in this day and age, being gay is not a good reason, if it ever was.
Order! Order!
After the House of Commons voted to allow same-sex marriage in England and Wales, the Marriage Same-Sex Couples Bill will now go before the House of Lords. If the bill is passed, will same-sex marriage be recognised as equal to the marriage between a man and a woman? I'm Lucy George, and this is Under Questioning. Since 2005, same-sex couples can only be united by means of a civil partnership, but David Cameron hopes to legalise the bill to allow same-sex ceremonies. Religious organisations, many of whom do not support the bill, will not be pressured into performing same-sex marriages. Today I'm going to be speaking to the first openly lesbian MP for Wallasey, Angela Eagle, who will be answering your questions on gay marriage. Graham asks, what does the bill to legalise same-sex marriage mean to the gay community?
Well, I think it means a lot, particularly if you're religious and you want to marry in those churches that let you. And I think it means a lot to people who value marriage. There are lots of people who've grown up in families feeling excluded because they haven't been able to get married. They've often gone to siblings' weddings, and I just think that this includes them, and so that's why there was such pleasure amongst the LGBT community when the bill passed its third reading in the House of Commons last week.
How do you feel when so many are opposed to gay marriage?
Well, I think it's always, when you make progressive social advances, I think that you have arguments to have, and it's often controversial. I just think we need to reassure people who disagree that it's not really going to change the way they live their life or affect their marriage. Yeah. When something is meaningful and it's progressive social advance, it's going to annoy some people that don't think that should happen.
Emily says, it's brilliant to see the bill for gay marriage progress like it has. What do you think this says about how society has changed in the last 30 to 40 years?
I think we've made a lot of changes in terms of getting rid of discrimination with Section 28 being abolished and equalising the age of consent and doing all those things. And I never thought when I was elected to Parliament 21 years ago that we would have made the progress that we've made, and that's one of the things that I'm most proud of in my time as a Member of Parliament.
What more do you feel has to be done in the fight for gay equality?
Now what we've got to do, though, is make our equal rights in law a reality for every LGBT person in the country. So if you're growing up a bit frightened and worried about your sexual orientation, or you're being bullied at school for being gay, whether you are or not, we've got to make sure that those rights and protections that we've now got in law actually count for you. And so we've got a lot of hearts and minds to win, and a lot of silly, blind prejudice about LGBT people to challenge head-on and change. And until we've done that, the laws that we've actually written into the statute book won't be meaningful for every person. So that's the work we've got to do in the UK. We've got a bit of work to do abroad as well, because there are still many countries where it's illegal to be an LGBT person, and in 5 of those countries you can be put to death. So we've got a lot of work to do internationally too.
That's it for today. Thank you for sending in your questions to us. If you want to find out about the bill to legalise gay marriage, go to parliament.uk. To find out more about gay rights, go to lgbt.co.uk. Catch up with our latest episodes at catch21.co.uk and follow us on Twitter at catch21p. Stay tuned for more Under Questioning. See you next time.